Happy Tuesday. How are you guys? How's everyone today? So it is Tuesday morning. Um, I like Tuesdays better than Mondays. No, right? You survive Monday, and I feel like Tuesday is like now the day where your week really gets going. Like Monday, it's kind of like, okay, well, I had to figure everything out. Like what happened over the weekend, or like I gotta get restarted, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you have the weekend so you kind of hopefully get to disconnect um from everything and just kind of live your life and then, live the other part of your life, right? Have fun and be creative. And then Monday, you got to kind of get back into the grind. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur or you're going to corporate America or you just got to send the kids to school. Not just because, there's so many other things that you're doing if you're, a full time, mom and wife and such. Um, there's just a lot going on, right? So Tuesdays is kind of the day where I'm like, okay, all right. I kind of put out all the fires from the weekend and now I get to really get going. Well, today, when we look at the chart, you're going to see something. Like to me, I'm just like seeing where this is really our time to find the beauty in life and in our life. And beauty truly is in the eyes of who? The beholder. So let's watch the intro and then we're going to get into the chart, okay? Hang on. I could do a little bit better with that exit. Anyway, welcome, welcome everyone. I want to welcome my new subscribers and my old subscribers or my existing subscribers. Those of you that have been with me from day one, and those of you that just discovered me, welcome to the channel. My name is Lisa, and this is Heart of Inspiration. Here at this channel, we help you lead a whole and healed, peaceful, and prosperous life, and spirit led. Let's not forget that. And so, if I've earned your like, and if by the end of this video I've earned your subscribe, thank you very much. Feel free, it doesn't cost you anything, it's free 99. And if you really do find the content interesting, just share it with somebody. Tell somebody that you found me and that I might be pretty darn cool. All right. Um, beauty is in the eyes of. So I want you to take that saying, and the end of it is typically the eyes of the what? Beholder. But what we typically allow to happen is we allow other people to behold us and determine whether or not we are beautiful or we are handsome, right? We even find ourselves taking that power away from other people, where we determine whether or not we find them beautiful or handsome, right? So, um, I, I'm going to encourage you today, when you think of beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, I want you to be the beholder. Why let somebody else determine that? Why let someone else determine it? Um, so I want you to determine that for yourself. I want you to be the beholder of what you find beautiful or what you perceive is going to be beautiful in your life. And don't let anybody else tell you any different. Are you serious right now? No, no, no. So let's look at the chart and I'll tell you why I say all this wonderful stuff. So the chart is it's starting to get interesting. It's somewhat simplifying, and yet it is about to become a little bit more complicated. But we still it's pretty straightforward still. We still have this conjunction here. Oh goodness, let me do this. We still have this conjunction here, Chiron and the Sun and Mercury still. Again, we've been talking about this conjunction for a few days now, so I'm sure you guys get it. I don't need to keep beating a dead horse, so to speak. Um, Mercury's going to start pulling away because it's pretty much Speedy Gonzalez. So Mercury's going to start pulling away here soon and speed on down the road to be in touch with the revolutionary Uranus in Taurus. So what I will say for you is over the next week or so, um, get it in order. Get real clear on what you want. Get super duper clear on what you want. And get super duper clear on where you're heading. So if that means you got to spend a ton of time in your own alone time, you got to spend a ton of time meditating. You need to spend a ton of time sitting down and writing. You need to spend a ton of time just allowing just like a stream of consciousness to occur. Then I'm going to encourage you to do it because we're going to within the next, and I'm just looking at this right now. I feel so Mercury takes what 84 days to get around the sun to get through the wheel. Yeah, you're looking at about the next week. I'm going to look at the chart for the 12th, but I feel like the next 7 to 8 days, you're looking at where everything kind of congeals and conjuncts and coalesces to be like, bam, right? Here you go. So it's going to be a very powerful time. Next week is a real super duper powerful time. So we've got that going on. We've still got Uranus hanging out, not doing anything weird or wonky. Um, this Jupiter conjunction, Jupiter Neptunian conjunction is just like, oh my God. Now, speaking of which, we were going to have the newsletter ready on Monday the 4th. It will be ready today, Tuesday the 5th. So depending upon what time this drops, give me a little time. But look for the community tab post. And so if you haven't already signed up for my emails and such, go to heartofinspiration.net. You can go and download the latest crystal grid on that first page right there. But so you will want to sign up because I talk a lot about in depth about this Jupiter conjunction that's going to be like absolutely conjunct on the 12th of April. So you'll want to get some interesting information ahead of me actually putting out a YouTube video about it. So you'll get some insider thoughts here. So get that newsletter. It's amazing. There's a lot of amazing information in there as well. So that conjunction, so that's kind of congealing and showing us our dreams and all that kind of great stuff. Really interestingly enough, right now, the focal point, once again, is the moon. And now the moon on Tuesday here is in Gemini. Well, what's the moon doing? The moon is squaring. Now you might say to me, but Lisa, it's in an air sign, right? Those of you that have been paying attention, air sign to air sign, element to element. What is that aspect usually? A trine, right? It's a trine. But also a trine is 120 degrees. That's the actual definition of a trine. A sextile is 60 degrees. A square is 90 degrees. A semi-square is 45 degrees. And a quincunx is 150 degrees. And an opposition is 180. That's a lot of geometry. But let me just say that a square is 90 degrees. A trine is 120 degrees. So, so the moon is, excuse me, squaring Venus. It's not yet quite trining. Now, at some point today, it will end up trining Saturn and Mars. And then it is trining by degree, 120 degrees, Pluto in Capricorn. So I'm going to pick these apart as we go forward. This is our emotional center. So what is it doing? It's squaring Venus, right? For the good chunk of the day. By it squaring Venus, and yet it is trining by element, meaning it's in the same element. This is giving us a little unsurety about how we're really supposed to feel. This is actually challenging us to really determine what we find beautiful and what we find joy in, what we find peace in, what is going to be the path of least, here comes Gemini, the path of least resistance in our don't, in our creation process. What's going to be the path of least resistance in our creationary process as we're manifesting, right? The life, the world, the purpose, the plan, right? That is of our highest good, that we came here to live. So I need one of y'all aunties to come get your cat. Stay down. I need one of y'all aunties to come get your cat. Okay, anyway. She ain't been down here the whole time. Um, so it's challenging us to say, what is it that we really do? Come on, honey. What do we really find beauty in, and what do we find peace in? And the reason why I say the path of least resistance, Venus, one of its archetypes is luxury, and sometimes some people say opulence, and um you know sometimes they'll say lazy. I don't think lazy. um when you think about nature and you think about how nature operates, does do plants push up their seedlings, right? Once the seed is germinated and it's beginning to grow underneath the surface of the earth, and it's not pushing its way up, does that seedling push up and try to burrow its way through a rock in order to break through? Or does it go kind of around the rock if there's a rock in its way, or 2 or 3 rocks? Does it find the crack? If you think about, like, in your driveway, if you've concrete in the driveway or maybe a crack in the blacktop, and the weeds will push through that crack. It could be a crack that's just like minute, right? But somehow those weeds will push on through, won't they? Why don't they push through the blacktop? Why don't they push through the concrete? Well, you'll say, well, Lisa, because they can't. No, because it's not. It's the path. They're going to take the path of least resistance. Growth tends to take the path of least resistance. When we have obstacles thrown in our way, the reason why it's so important for us to do the work to figure out why the obstacle got thrown in there and learn the lesson, so that we can what? Now remove that obstacle completely, so the next time we come around on the cycle, we don't hit it again. Otherwise, you're going to keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. You're never going to actually spiral out and grow. You're going to stay at the same level. You're not going to level up. So the obstacle is there, so we learn the lesson so that we can grow and then go again on the path of least resistance. So this moon and Venus is actually, squaring off on Venus. before it actually kind of comes into a legit square right here in the first few degrees of Pisces. I mean, Venus is quickly moving into Pisces. So we're just going to get a hint of this, but it's just enough of a hint, a whiff, a mist of this energy to say, just check yourself and make sure you really know what you value, what you find beauty in, and what you really feel that your purpose is, and where you find beauty within yourself and your purpose and your plan, right? Because we're coming out of this service to others collective consciousness energy of Aquarius and coming into this dreamy kind of savior complex. So just be sure that you're not becoming someone's savior, okay? um Moving out into that energy during the day today, the moon is going to be kind of moving this way, right? And it's going to trine briefly this Saturn and Mars energy. So again, as it's gathering kind of, this is what I find beauty in, this is what I find peace in, this is what I truly value, this is where I feel like I can be abundant and still be in purpose. Then you're going to move and swing over into this energy of Saturn and Mars conjunct. And you're going to recognize, if you didn't already, that the way you want to do it is different than others. It's uniquely and individually you. Even if it sounds like and looks like and maybe feels like other people's, like what they might do, it's not. So what you worried about? Go and do what you got to do. Okay. Um, so that's going to help you be okay with the fact that this does not look the same as everyone else. And it's going to make you okay with that Mars energy of, we really don't have all day, like 5 years to figure out your tactical plan. We're going to need you to condense that down to maybe, 5 weeks, 5 months. Okay, we're going to need you to condense it down. So you might need to do something different and seek out some guidance and some assistance so you can accelerate your growth pattern. But we really don't have a whole lot of time for you to kind of, dilly dally around and get for your 3D self to get so totally good with everything that it's like, oh, okay, it's fine. No, 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 no. Mars is going to keep pushing you and encouraging you to move. And then, though, what we're starting off with is we're still by degree, 120 degrees, trining Pluto at the start of today. As the day progresses, it'll be going through where we do what a quincux is, which is confusion a little bit. And then as we begin to see in the next day or two, then we're going to get into opposition, which for Cancer and Capricorn is actually a very harmonious opposition, one of the most harmonious oppositions in the zodiac. Dare I say the most harmonious, but I might be a tad bit biased. Anyway, so this moon in Gemini again, which is very expressive, very cerebral, very intellectual, and yet it's feisty and fiery and ready to go. Like it's ready to come up with a new plan. Geminis move very quickly, being ruled by Mercury. So this kind of mercurial, like fast acting energy, as it's at the moment trining, right? Um, Pluto in Capricorn is just kind of like adding to everything, right? It's just like it's layer upon layer. It's like, all right, good, we're cool with this. I know how I'm going to make these changes, and I know how I'm going to rise from the ashes on a personal level. So I, you know, all right, it's all good in the neighborhood. Let's go to it. Let's get to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Right. So this is really it's a nice energy for a Tuesday. And the reason why I say it's a nice energy for a Tuesday is because Monday, you're blah, right? Just another manic Monday, right? By the Bengals. Yeah, maybe. I'm sure somebody will tell me if it's not by the Bangles, Manic Monday. So we have the Manic Monday, right? We've had that, and now we're into this Tuesday energy of, okay, let's settle it in. Let's get the game plan together and let's keep moving. So this is a good, calm, beautiful energy for Tuesday to really contemplate and to then put into action, though. What is it that we find beautiful? And again, you're the beholder. So I don't care what everybody else says you should find beauty in. I don't care what everybody else says you should find satisfaction in. I don't care what everybody else says you should find fulfillment in. I want you to find it in the places and the spaces that you want to find it. All right. All right, guys. Let's pull a Sacred Creators card. I really wanted to get this done in 15 minutes. Clearly, that's impossible. I try. That was quick. Oh, that's cool. The spark of hustle. The spark of hustle. I'll read that from the book. All right, gang. Oh, it's in the back. No. What number is that? 17? Okay, hang on. And no, I don't memorize all the oracle cards. Listen, I'm not memorizing 67 cards in here and God knows how many in there. And God, I have too many oracle decks. Okay, here we go. You know when inspiration hits and totally immerses your senses in the possible. That is the spark of hustle at work. It's when every cell of your body hums with the desire to put something out into the world. And when you feel that whoosh of energy that brings new ideas to life, the spark of hustle feels like a calling, a compelling, like something that cannot be ignored. This card is full of hope and expectation because it whispers, yes, it's coming. And yes, you can do this. Spirit is sending superstar blessings your way, along with a passion that has been divinely amplified. Look for projects and experiences that are full of excitement and joy, and say yes to opportunities that feel totally on purpose. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the magnitude of your sacred task, remember that big soulful endeavors usually push us to go beyond the limits of what we know to be possible. This is how we grow. Use the spark of hustle to evolve and expand because it's your guiding star. Well, there you have it. Spark on, okay? Rock on. Okay. All right, guys. I want you to have a fabulous Tuesday. Again, head over to heartofinspiration.net if you haven't already. Sign up for my emails, get my newsletter. Also, you're going to be the first to get the announcement about my next upcoming Lightworker Lift Off workshop. It's starting in a little over a week. It's free, and then we've actually restructured it. So get on the website because we've restructured it a little bit to make it easier for everybody. It's going to be 2 days now. We still have things jam packed, but there's like a lot of great goodies and stuff like that. So 2 days, come on through and let's get your business started, right? Let's get you out here and let people know that you found that spark of hustle. Let people know that you're ready to step into your purpose in being a healer, a teacher, a mentor, a shaman, a coach, right? Whatever that looks like for you, a healer of some type. I want you there, okay? If you haven't already come to one, it's an experience you do not want to miss. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so much. Namaste. Bye bye.